Hi, Chef Justin Watson here with a bonus recipe for black beans and rice. This dish pairs well with the jerk seasoning I presented in the last video, or even as a meal on its own. Here are the ingredients for today's recipe. As always, I've left a copy in the description along with a few variations of alternative ingredients. To start, we will mince the garlic. I like to cut this similar to an onion with horizontal cuts first, followed by the vertical cuts to mince it fine. Next is the onion. Again, starting with the horizontal cuts. For safety, you can hold your palm flat up against the top, but I prefer to hold it with 3 fingers. Make the vertical cuts only most of the way through the onion, leaving the root intact to help hold the onion together. Now, turn it 90 degrees and dice it. As you get close to the end, push the onion over so it's flat on the cutting board. Cut around the root to utilize as much as you can. On to dicing the bell pepper. In a previous video I showed you one of the techniques I use to trim a pepper. I've left a link to that video here. One variation to this recipe is to substitute or add chili peppers to spice things up. To cook the rice, I'm using a rice cooker, but you can just as easily use an Instapot or just a sauce pot on the stovetop. Begin by adding the coconut oil. Add the minced garlic, diced onions, and peppers. Another variation you could consider would be additional vegetables like carrots, celery, tomatoes, or even okra. However, keep in mind, if the vegetables have a high moisture content, you may need to reduce the liquid you add. Stir the vegetables to coat them with the oil. I've set this aside to warm up while I pick the oregano. Oregano happened to be what was abundant in my garden at the time, but parsley, thyme, or cilantro are great choices as well. Once picked, I will chop up the oregano by gathering it into a tight bundle and slicing it thin. Then give it a once-over for any large pieces I may have missed. Back to the rice cooker. I will give the vegetables a quick stir. We will start by adding the rice and stirring it so the oil coats the rice. This helps the rice from sticking together as much. I'm using Jasmine rice, but you can use your favorite variety and adjust the liquid to the appropriate ratio. Add the cooked black beans. You can use dried black beans you soak and cook yourself, or just use canned, but be sure to rinse the beans so it does not discolor the rice too much. Add the seasonings of salt, cumin, and bay leaf. Your chopped fresh herbs. Red wine vinegar. Then stir briefly to incorporate the seasoning evenly throughout. Finally, add your liquid and shut the lid to let it cook. For those vegetarians or vegans, you can substitute vegetable stock or even better, coconut milk. Once complete, fluff the rice. Black beans and rice. Here it is served with jerk seasoned chicken and mango salsa. Thank you again for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. To subscribe, hover over my chef's hat and hit that red subscribe button. Mise en place. It's a way of life.